Hello, world. This is Chris Aballo's podcast experiment, and I am Chris Aballo. Welcome to the show. And I'm sorry. Now, what am I apologizing for? A bunch of shit.
That's probably wise.
First of all, I think every show should begin with an apology from me. But
welcome to the show. And I'm sorry.
It's fair. It may become a theme in 2026.
You need to work it into the Hello World.
Hello World, I'm sorry.
Hello World, I'm sorry. This is Chris Aballo's podcast experiment.
I think that's the title to beat. Hello World, I'm sorry. Okay, so joining me, Christian Cortez, everybody.
Yeah, I'm here, guys. What's up?
How's it going? So, a couple of things. Number one, the schedule, that is my fault as far as the release schedule to a point. Now, let me explain. See, the fact that we started recording Cape back in February and then did 2 more episodes in March with the intent of kicking off the show in April and then in May, and then it became October. I explained that in Cape 241, but here we are coming to the end of the 2025 run, and things have gotten a little out of sorts. So the fun thing was, as I said at the beginning of Cape 241, I said, okay, well, it's Friday, it's October 10th, we're launching it today because you've waited long enough, so you're getting an episode today, and also in a bit of a celebration of 15 years since my first 2 podcast episodes dropped in my first show. But next week, we're going back to the Monday schedule. So you're getting 2 episodes a couple of days apart, and we're kicking off the year, and then every Monday from then on. Yeah, so when I figured that out, along with, I guess we're doing 10 episodes to round out 2025, somewhere my math failed me to where the Monday of the week of Thanksgiving, there was no show in the can. And I was like, oh, God. And then I thought, well, you know what? The guys are doing the Black Friday special. So there will be an episode that week. It'll be late. And there was a whole joke referring to something that I shouldn't talk about. I don't think I'm allowed to. But it also wasn't my idea. You know what I'm saying.
I know.
You can say it. I can't. I literally can't. I don't have much of a career to lose, but I'm not going to gamble it away on a joke that I didn't come up with. So.
But then.
You guys you didn't address this in the Black Friday show,
Nope.
did you? No, okay. So the funny thing is, the guys it was kind of a cursed episode. And you all don't know that because it didn't come up. But they were going to buck the trend. 2 weeks in advance, they were going to do the show. And unfortunately, the surprise guest who was supposed to be the third, in addition to joining Christian and Ugo, got COVID. Literally the day they were supposed to record it. Yeah. Tested positive for COVID, and he said, I feel fine, but I don't want to be that asshole who gets everyone else sick and comes to the studio and spreads COVID in the studio.
I appreciate.
Oh, 100%. I said that too.
Listen, there's nothing it's a weird quirk, I guess, since the pandemic is like, even if you test negative, I still don't want to be. But
also, the other thing is, now, regardless of where your feelings are about COVID in 2025, you still don't want it. It still sucks.
No, you don't want it.
It still sucks. So even if somebody has it and you're like, it's not going to kill me, you don't want it anyway. Nobody wants to get sick. I mean, somebody does, but, they're probably institutionalized.
Yeah,
or there's a few of them walking around.
Let's hope that they're institutionalized.
Well, fingers crossed. Some of them have cable shows. Anyway, a lot of them have podcasts. But
some of them in the White House. Anyway,
that's our topical humor for 2025. There's the one topical joke. Yeah, that's it. We steer away from that stuff, so that joke is not going to send your angry tweets to Christian. So anyway,
Arcade Player 1 on Twitter, Christian _Cortez on Instagram.
Links in the description. Give him your shitty comments. Yeah, exactly. Now you know where to find him. And just a click away, and you can abuse Christian for his beliefs. So, anyway, yeah, and you and Ugo kind of put it to me. You're like, we'll do the show tonight without him if you want. It's your show. And I'm like, dude, I'm handing it over to you guys. But I said, if you're willing to wait, if we could work it out to get it done in advance of Black Friday, that would be great. And the way the schedule went, it was going to be Tuesday, 2 days before Thanksgiving. It was going to be done.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, it's happening. It means I'm literally spending the night before Thanksgiving. Because, listen, the shows run long. By the time the file has finished rendering, processing, and then it gets uploaded to Dropbox, Christian sends me a link. I download it. I got to watch and review it and get everything together. I thought I'm literally going to spend Wednesday night
just
editing the show so it's ready for Friday because I don't want to work on it on Thanksgiving. No. Well, then there's a schedule conflict. Are you laughing or dying?
Both.
Okay. Then there's a schedule conflict. Now we got to push to Wednesday. And now I'm saying, son of a bitch. I said, I can't spend Thanksgiving editing the show. Like I'm not, I mean, this is, by and large is a hobby. You know, we do the show because it's fun, but I said, no, I can't give up Thanksgiving to get the show ready for Friday. Like no. I can't do it.
It's unreasonable.
But it was a schedule conflict that could not be maneuvered around. It was, I'm no longer free on Tuesday and there's nothing I could do about it. So it's like, okay, fine, Wednesday. And then Wednesday happened and literally the guest car didn't work when he went outside to drive to the studio. And that's what happened. And it was a cursed show. Well, you guys did bring it up at the top. It's as far as, you know, it being a curse. And I obviously made some jokes about it. The word honky was involved a lot.
But it was our first solo in a little while. Well, I mean, me and Ugo.
Since the first Black Friday special, yes. Yeah. So in 2 years.
So then the next one we need a guest.
Well, there was an idea batted around. They touched on it briefly. So do you know what it is? Did he tell you off Mike or no? I will say what it is because I'm curious. Okay.
He did.
I will throw it out there. There was the idea of doing, now we don't know when Cape's coming back in 2026. It will be back in 2026 at some point, and we'll get into bits and pieces about that. At some point. It won't be in the fall next year because as this run has
subsided.
The way it's played out, and I was going to say borne out, but that doesn't sound right.
I know.
The
played
way
out?
Yeah, basically the way it played out was it was tough to try to do even the 8 episodes we're doing aside from the 2 that were in the can. It was just tough to coordinate because fall's a busy time, and obviously with Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that, it was just like, ugh. So the run is not going to be in the fall. Whatever the run is, or if we do like 2 10-episode runs like we did in 2023, they'll be earlier in the year. I frankly like the idea of maybe ending on a Halloween live stream, having that be the last episode of 2026. Because if we start like end of August, beginning of September, we can get 10 in and end on the last, end it at the last week of October. That. So that would be fun because we haven't done that. We didn't do a Halloween live stream this year.
I also like that for a very selfish reason. Because if 2026 goes as well as I think it's going to, there may very well be a trailer for a specific project done and ready by the time we do that.
This is true.
That live stream.
So we could have a premiere. And now presenting.
We'll just bleep it out. But yeah, if the trailer is ready.
You didn't have to do it. I knew what you were talking about. You didn't have to tell me.
I just wanted to put in a bleep. Bleeps are funny.
You want to create more work for me, Cortez. That's what you want to do.
51-58. Okay.
I'll be watching this back. I'll be watching back glass breaking and
let's talk about that.
Me catching no, because I need to finish this opening, this apology at some point. Otherwise, it's literally going to be
apology?
Cape 249, the apology episode.
You have nothing to be sorry for.
No, but I'm getting there.
I know.
I haven't laid it all out yet.
I still just want to say, like,
well, you don't.
It's been a crazy year.
Of course, but you love me. You're keen to forgive me anyway. I don't know if they love me or not. They're watching.
They watch.
They can be hate watching. I don't know. I mean, there's again a handful of them. I assume.
Go finish your dinner.
No, he loves it. That's a fucking bummer. 2025 with no Mike Zapsik, no Chris Mad, which was a not that we didn't try, not that I didn't try. Up until for
just things happen.
Cape 250, I even said, I literally talked to Mike yesterday and said, long shot. I realize you're probably not available, and he was like, it's super busy right now. I mean, he runs the store. It's the holiday season. I get it, but I said,
retail,
dude, it's the last one. I hate that we haven't been able to work something out. Any chance you're free, and there isn't. So it's not anybody's fault. 2025 has been a weird year in a lot of ways, but this run of the show has been weird, including getting back to the Black Friday special. Yeah, so that's what happened. Like on the day, it was, well, I'm not going to be here. After already figuring out, well, there's not going to be an episode this week because some dumbass didn't realize that there was an episode for that Monday. So went the whole week without the episode. So I said, well, it's just going to have to go up next Friday. And the joke was in the chat, was, well, I should say my text between at least the other two guys was, oh, well, Black Friday after next. Put it up the week after Black Friday. Hence the title, Cape 248, Black Friday after next, which is why it went up to Friday after Black Friday, because it's perfect.
I love that.
And it was right,
so
yeah,
much.
and it was right there.
So good.
So I said, okay,
so
we're literally gonna have a week with just nothing, and then not Monday, then Friday. You have to wait extra long to get the episode, and then the Monday after, no episode. So here we are. It's December 15th. That's when this episode is up. And so Cape's running a little bit longer because there were some gaps toward the end. That couldn't be helped. I mean, either that or I'm sacrificing Thanksgiving to give you guys an episode, and I'm sorry. As much as I love doing the show and I love you all for watching and listening, it wasn't going to happen.
Wait till I tell you how that episode almost didn't get sent to you because it almost didn't happen.
Oh, well, let's get into that right now before I move forward to this episode and next week's episode, the 2025 finale. I was
going to see you again. But
well, you also know to save it for the show, and I appreciate that.
I've learned.
I know.
So, I mean, hey, we recorded, everything was fine, dandy, looks great. By the time this episode comes out, it's out there. It exists in the world. It almost didn't.
It almost got wiped. So,
the way that our workflow works is that when the files are done, I have to convert them because yours doesn't really work with the MKV files. It doesn't work with a specific file type for most people. So we convert them.
FLV.
Yes.
They don't need to be converted for me. Because
you don't need the conversion.
Correct. Most people need it converted to MP4.
But I just do it off of muscle memory anyway.
No, of course.
Now, something that I learned about the software that we use, literally I found it out with this, is that if you accidentally put it into the system and don't change the file type and just hit the thing, it'll render out the show again, the first 2 seconds of it.
But it doesn't delete the original file, does it?
It does.
Holy shit.
So I was rendering out the show, and then it spits out a file that's only a 2 KBs big. And I was like, that's unusual. What the fuck? So I was like,
that's one way to react to it.
Yeah. So I was like,
that's unusual.
I was like, what the fuck? So
didn't know Cape could last 3 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Even without me here.
So I wait for Ugo to leave before I flip the fuck out.
Smart.
And then I go to open the file, and it is literally only 3 frames long. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? And I did a whole deep dive for an hour. To retrieve the original file,
recording.
And I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. It says once you do that, it's a known bug of the system that we have. It's gone. Until I remembered Dropbox exists. Dropbox exists and saves past versions of things.
Oh, so it automatically uploaded.
So I rushed into Dropbox, and lo and behold, in the version history is the 5 gigabyte behemoth of our show.
It was only 90 minutes. You guys did an unusually tight show, even for you, and you know.
Which is wild because we weren't looking at a clock.
No, you guys. It was the file I got was 1 hour and 31 minutes, and there wasn't a lot of there was like 2 minutes, I think, of pre-show, which was you just literally checking levels and moving the camera to frame everything up. There wasn't like banter because I wasn't here.
But I saved it.
Oh, thank God. So that would have been that would have been so on brand.
And I know it would have been, but I couldn't be defeated by
I'm glad you thought of it as quickly as you did, because if that file hadn't gone.
No, I totally get it. The audio, fine. Just you would have just repeated.
Oh, okay. So it would have been an audio only episode. That would have been something. Quick sidebar. I'm not cutting out. Do you hear the pickleball happening now?
No, I didn't hear it. No, I don't hear it. Do you hear it?
Yes.
Am I deaf? I don't hear it.
Maybe.
Oh my God, I do fucking hear it.
Yeah. I hear it in the mic, in the headphone. This mic's better than your mic. My mic's better than your mic.
Well, that's actually true.
Yes.
That is my favorite microphone here.
Do you want to switch?
No. You're the host, buddy. It says Chris Aballo's podcast experiment. Not Christian Corda. Doesn't really have a ring to it. Cape has a ring to it. Yeah. Doesn't. I just want to do one episode where I call it Christian Cortez's podcast experiment.
Anytime you want. You say so.
Hello, world. So. Welcome to
We should create a backup account. CAPEPOD. Just it'll have one post on it. It'll be the trailer for your episode. It'll be a collaboration post.
You know what would be really fun is if we do a takeover like that, but if we rebrand Cape for one day, all the things like it'll be
okay. Well, I guess the show's returning on April Fool's. I mean, why not? April's your birth month.
It is. Oh my God, we should do it.
Okay. Now we're libeling ourselves. Now the fucking show has to come back by April.
I mean, if you cut this part out.
No, I don't think so.
But yeah, no.
I already got to bleep out shit. You're going to put me to work even more? Hey, I got a great idea, Chris. Edit this out.
Sorry. I love this show, goddammit.
I love the show too, and I love that you love it.
That just sent me.
That doesn't work as an episode title, though. Like it works.
It does not.
It works when we say it, but
when you say
if it's the title of the episode, they're gonna be like,
"What the fuck?
Did Chris have a stroke when he posted this? Like, what happened?"
A message from Selly. Are you okay?
Ash is gonna call in a panic. What happened? What do you mean? What happened? I saw the show. Well, did you actually watch the show? Oh hell no! Nobody.
Are you
watches
having trouble?
Nobody
speaking?
watches your show. Yeah, like, did you have a panic attack in the middle of this? No. We made a joke about Christian taking over, and it's gonna be. See what we're doing right now. We're making the show very second screen, as they say. You know, you're scrolling your phone while the show's playing in the background or whatever. So we're explaining what we just did.
Yeah.
Even though we literally said it, we're repeating it, so you know, like, that's where that came from. That's a gender neutral voice, by the way.
I know it is.
What else am I sorry for? Oh yeah, so Thanksgiving went to my parents.
How was it?
Thanksgiving. It was great. However, the day after, cleaning up, it was the day after. I'm trying to think of how it played out. Mm-hmm. So, helping my parents clean up, and they have a vacuum, which I guess is, they have a regular, like, let's say full-size vacuum, but they have a smaller one, which also, it has a regular, it's like regular length. It kind of like angles better. Because it has
it's a little more maneuverable.
Yes, exactly. But also the top half detaches and then it becomes a handheld, like a dustbuster.
Oh, that's cool.
But that's also where the dust trap is. And I was like, oh, this thing isn't working. Is the dust trap full?
Oh, shit.
Take it into open. I was like, oh, let me take it in the kitchen so I can open it in the garbage and dump it out if it needs to be cleaned. Twist it off. Like a cartoon cloud of dust goes off in my face. And it was cartoonish. It was like a Wile E. Coyote with an Acme explosive goes off in my face. Anyway, I've got this stupid dry cough. So this all comes back to, I'm not sick. I have this stupid dry cough that I've been fighting. Literally, you've been taking cough drops.
Because of that?
An hour leading up to yes, I'm not sick. I'm not congested. You can hear, I'm not congested.
No, not at all.
And it's just a random dry cough. But at the same time, I'm trying to stop it because we're doing the show.
Oh, my God.
So
I'm sorry for laughing. That sucks.
Oh, there's nothing. Dude, it's fine. But everyone's like, take Robitussin. I'm like, it's not a cold.
It's not a cold.
It's my sinuses, my throat, something's irritated, and it just won't. Having said that, Thanksgiving was only last week when we're doing this. But you're still not getting it until December 15th. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So
oh my God.
I'm sorry. If I call, I apologize to everybody. I'm trying to maintain it. But now there is a cheat. Back when I was taking voice lessons, when I was going to guitar college, I took voice lessons separately, and my voice teacher talked about different ways to get around issues, obviously, when you're performing and when you're singing and all that. And one of them is, and this is not for me, this is not a bit, I swear, this is what she taught me. Okay. But I can't do it on the show because it's going to look suspicious. And yeah, we're totally going to get flagged by YouTube. Because a way to stop yourself from coughing is to kind of like stick your tongue out a little bit and pant like a dog. Because whatever that is, like throws your body off so you don't cough. So if you literally go, That will suppress a cough, so you don't cough. You could do it like as briefly as I did.
Yeah.
I mean, short of like having a severe like infectious attack.
Yeah.
But for just like a cough like I have, I can do that because I was trying it earlier, but then I thought I can't do that on the show because everyone's gonna be like, Chris is a sex pervert now.
That'll become a gift.
Exactly. It's no CAPEPOD, but it's gonna be something. It's gonna be like apologies, heavy panting, and CAPEPOD. So
from a town called CAPEPOD.
Can I tell you a little story about a town called CAPEPOD? Wow. So there, if I cough, I apologize. I'm trying not to. I literally I spoke through one just now as I was saying that sentence, just to keep it down. So if my voice sounds a little funny, like I'm trying to, like there's a slight modulation or something, it's because I'm trying not to cough in the mic. It's obnoxious. We don't have cough buttons here at a shared universe. Fuck knows why. But and that's why I'm also sipping on water as well, even though we talk a lot. Clearly.
Dust season fire.
Dude, it was like, and having said that, now the noble and loving son in me is saying, well, at least it's me and not my aged parents.
Oh, good, yeah.
Because like one of them would be in hospice right now, and I don't need that. 2025 has been enough.
Or a cousin you'd never hear the end of it from.
Multiple cousins? Are you kidding? Why did you let your parents clean the vacuum? Why weren't you vacuuming for them? It's like, goddamn, I was down for a holiday. I'm not their maid.
Yeah, exactly.
Or am I? Chauffeur, maid, delivery boy, utility man. Anything needs to be reached or carried.
Point, maybe.
Oh no, it's all the time. Anyway, so I apologize if I coughed. So I think we got all the. I think I got all the apologies out of the way. Okay.
I'm sorry that I didn't know that you guys were doing that in Freehold. I was so excited to surprise you. Because I ended up in Tom's River.
Oh, yeah. So Christian was invited to Thanksgiving.
So
with my
he invited me
family.
to Thanksgiving, and I very much appreciated the invite. But as it turned out, because I didn't think this was actually going to be the case, my mom came home for Thanksgiving, and she'll be home for Christmas as well. So will my sister. So
awesome.
Which I'm super excited about.
Yeah, my sister was just home for Thanksgiving. She'll be home for Christmas as well.
So
it's great.
But Chris had extended an invite just in case something wasn't going to happen, of like, hey, you can come to my family. And first off, that sounded awesome. And Aballo Thanksgiving, listen, your family could cook. So
oh, you've no idea.
So
you just had my dad's, but
I know exactly.
There's so much more. You would now nobody believes me, and seriously, nobody believes me. I've said it particularly like when I've brought girlfriends and to holidays and all that. Nobody ever believes me. I'm a shrinking violet in my family, and nobody believes me. When you hear the volume and the personalities and the everything, like it's all inheritary.
So we should bring a decibel meter to the next
probably.
Family.
Having said that, it was a small gathering this year. It was only 18 people. It was less than it normally is.
Only 18 people.
No, I'm telling you. Usually it teeters on 30. So yeah, then that's why I was like, you're gonna have the time of your life. First of all, you're gonna eat your weight in food.
I do think that our biggest Thanksgiving at our old house was probably 30 people. It was while my dad was sick, and we had all the family come over, which at the same time I loved, simultaneously hated.
Yeah. Well, see, the fun part, and this might have been, I don't know how you would have taken it, because everybody knows who you are from the show. So when I said I'd like to bring Christian, they were like, oh yeah, bring him along. Like everybody knows who you are. Because at minimum, they've seen the 2 episodes of my parents. They don't want to watch this bullshit with us
They're
just having a laugh.
Out on quality.
Well, no, I do. I should say, you know what? I joke, and I'm not losing my sense of humor or getting soft in my old age, but my extended family genuinely is supportive. They do watch and listen to the show. A lot. My cousins are massively supportive of this, and they love that I do it. In fact, they're on me to do it more than I do. So they're like, "Why are you only doing 10 episodes this year?" I'm like, "Shut up." So yeah, like, do you want to
pay for it?
Yeah, do you want to finance the show? Like, if that has been put out to me, and I've said, like, listen, if there was like a budget or like sponsors or something like that, like,
cousins,
I would hire
my
staff.
Venmo is at Christian-Cortez. I'll hand it, and maybe I'll hey, just saying.
People have said that. Well, why don't you set up an account so like we can kick in money? I'm like, I don't want. I appreciate the gesture, but like I don't want you to.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm turning the show into a business, and that changes the dynamic a little bit. Like I would never treat you like I'm your boss, and we have worked for each other on film projects, so I don't think that would change our dynamic. But on a level, yeah, it'd be a little weird. Wouldn't it? If like Christian, you were co-host / engineer, blah, blah, blah. You're going to get paid this much per episode. I would be happy to be able to throw a couple of shekels in your pocket.
I knew you were going to say shekels. But I freaking knew it.
Because it's an Italian expression. So a couple of clams. Throw a couple of clams your way. But I would like to do that. Now you're hungry.
No, not actually hungry. I always like the expression clams.
You know the clams? Everything is food in Italian. Everything's related to food. So,
but no, I understand to a degree, but then at the same time, it's like, I guess that just goes to show how much fun I have here, that I would refuse to let that change.
Oh, well, technically you're the only person who gets paid to do the show, because when we're booked in the studio, you get paid. You don't get paid for the marathon shows we do, but you get paid for at least an hour.
Because it also doesn't change, like when I make films and we're working for each other.
Yes.
That doesn't change the dynamic with me per se. Like when we're like Tree Lights is a perfect example of that. Like
so we made a film.
Yeah, we made a film. And it went very well, I would say. It went
as in my estimation, the best it possibly could, because there were hiccups. We'll do something about that next year when it starts hitting film festivals next fall.
We'll do our own filmmakers special.
No, well, we should.
Yeah,
I mean, but 100%. I'll tell you though.
I want me, you, Andrew.
Yes, well, but people loved that we went into. I mean, yeah, it was long, but people actually loved how thorough we were, instead of it just being some puff piece or some like press kit type whatever. They liked having it from everybody's perspective where we're getting into everything. And then 40 minutes in, we finally get to talk to Darian because he entered the picture and after we made it.
Filmmaking specials.
I got such a great response from that. We haven't really touched on the couple of specials that we did in 2024, even though that one came out back in April. But people loved how thorough it was. And I said, okay, we're doing special features when we work on something.
But the abridged version is that we made a short film I'd been working on for a while called Tree Lights. And Chris is a credited co-writer on that project. He produced it with me. And it went as well as it could be. There was some crazy hiccups beforehand, but that's what pre-production is for.
And during.
But, even those hiccups weren't like how Blurry went. That's different.
Up till the day of shooting, big hiccups were still present, because that happened with Blurry and that happened with Tree Lights. Blurry is forthcoming as well. That was Christian's second short film, which is not
out yet,
been loosed upon the world yet, but it will be. You'll know. We'll let you know through the various socials and whatnot. Again, you can follow us. Links in the description. But
with people like that, it doesn't change the dynamic for me, at least.
No, it doesn't. Well.
Because technically, here's the thing: with film productions, with any film, they're technically their own little businesses. Like that's usually how in Hollywood they set them up.
Yes,
but like in this case, you pay your friends and then you go about your business. So I guess that it doesn't, because it's not fully there yet, where we're like developing our own little LLCs for the productions, like how some really have to do when you're making a feature,
right?
But even then, I think that because of just the way that we work and who we work with, I don't think that it will affect how I go about that. That's interesting.
The dynamic changes a little bit because I am much more, particularly on Tree Lights as a producer, I was more of a utility player. I wasn't as hands-on. I was, not that there were fires to put out, but that's partly what it is. It's just like, I'll talk to Christian. Okay, well, talk to me first. All right, guys, they're shooting right now, so let's gather everybody in here. Let's get any extraneous personnel, out of where they're shooting, because they're, we're on a schedule and we are in locations for X amount of time and all that stuff. So I was kind of managing that. So I was less hands-on with you, but at the same time, I can't bust your balls when we're working on a film because you are the authority figure. And that's fine, because I know not to do that. And I wouldn't do that because I wouldn't want to undermine you, even though people know we have this pre-existing relationship. Friendship and working relationship.
Exactly.
So no, I don't think anybody would bat it. Well, people, let's put it this way. Enough people who we work with immediately go to our social media pages, and because my page is littered with Cape and you have a bunch of it on yours, they see that there's a dynamic already, and they love that. I don't know that they're disappointed that you and I aren't doing shtickla on set. Yeah. That they probably would enjoy that, but it's also
there will be
the job is different.
Time for that.
Yeah,
but I think also because of just the scope of Tree Lights was so different for me, that I needed to kind of focus, and especially in a different way when it came to one of the performers.
Yeah.
So I think that
across the board, it was a different level. I mean, we don't want to. I don't, but I'm saying I'm speaking.
I get it.
We don't want to get too deep in the weeds for something like you guys aren't going to see for a while, so we don't want to. Yeah, we don't want to be too inside baseball either, where it's just like we're talking about stuff vaguely, and they're like, I really don't give a shit. Why doesn't the show have chapters so I can skip it?
But we're still generally talking about the same thing.
No, we are, and as much as working. Like, but I've come up against that as far as if Cape became something. Mm-hmm. I mean, there was, and I talked about it. I'm not saying anything. You know, I mentioned it months and months ago on the show. I think the show with you, and saying that, you know, when the fact that there are people in different, you know, media companies who are aware of the show and of me and all of that, which is typical. As I said then, and I'm saying I'm not saying that in a braggy way. Like, their job is to know people and to keep their eyes on people.
You'll be proud
if
of me.
There's an opportunity.
I just resisted saying a personal hello.
Yeah, thank you. So I don't need to bleep it out again. But it's let's put it this way. Hypothetically, if SiriusXM says so obviously you can't do Cape because that's a podcast, even though they seem to be like making deals exclusively with podcasts. So not say it's off the table.
But if they came to you and were like,
they said, we want a Chris Aballo show. We want your cast of characters, but like we need a consistent lineup. It needs to be this. First of all, I know exactly how I would staff it up, be it as writers or as correspondents or as whatever, or as regulars, be it weekly, daily, whatever the thing was. I know how I would structure that. Like there is a plan in a glass case in case of emergency, break open glass. So if that opportunity did come along, you're not
blindsided.
Well, also, like, I'm not against it happening. I'm not betting on it happening, but who knows? Because listen, I didn't bet on this documentary happening that just came about that went out, link in the description. An excellent documentary called God Forbid, 20 Years of Treason. You can check out the link in the bio, which is receiving a lot of acclaim, and I appreciate that. And even the media coverage from that was very, very surprising. I don't want to get too into it. Not that, you know, I mean, obviously I'm not bragging,
now
but it's just point of I need to update chrisaballo.com. Don't go there if you're watching this right now because it's not updated yet.
You know for a fact they're going to now.
Oh, well, that's the I'm gonna have it redirect to something else.
You can't tell people on the internet to not do something when you give them the right opportunity to do
I'm gonna redirect it to the Cape YouTube channel temporarily until they rebuild it. Shut up. But yeah, I mean, something like that wouldn't have planned for, but as things came about, it was like, oh, here's a cool opportunity to be hired on to do this. Which has been great, which was an amazing experience. And there'll be more on that in 2026. I don't want to say when. There's more. There's
to be determined.
Well, yeah, here's the thing. There's a plan, but I don't like talking about things before they're done, which is why no one even knew. I mean, you knew I was working on this documentary. We talked about it over the summer, but
on the day you started shooting.
Well, even prior though, but I
know.
We'd spoken prior because I said, this is a possible opportunity. What do you think? And I actually approached you about working on it. Well, you don't need to tell everybody that.
Why? But, I find that cool. I'm like,
it is very cool.
My buddy shot a documentary that is freaking awesome. Partially with one of my
with your gear, but also like I approached you as, hey, are you available? And you weren't available.
I was not.
So you could have been there as well. But I mean, it still worked out. We had Chris Madd, another obviously member of the Cape family.
Really well put together, I will say.
Well,
I really did enjoy it. And
Did you watch it?
Yeah, of course. I did.
All right, I'm happy that you did.
No. Well, first off, I will always watch whatever you make.
Well, I appreciate that. You watched the finish. I sent you a rough cut. You've watched the finished version.
I watched the finished version.
Okay.
I wanted to watch that one over the rough cut.
Understood.
With Docs, I think I have a harder time giving like feedback with, just because I'm not as much of a documentary consumer as I probably should be. There's a handful of documentaries that I've seen that I kind of live and die by, but like
I get that. I have my favorites for sure.
Yeah, but even then, it's like it's because I haven't really put too many of my own documentaries together. That might change in 2026, but hey, I mean, you did a great job, dude.
Well, thanks,
man. Because listen, there were things going on behind the scenes of that we're not going to get into, but you did it. And like, that's the thing, is like pushing through when like everything is working against it.
Yeah.
But
and
like,
that will be elaborated on in the future with some of those involved in the documentary. Again, I don't want to
you did You did great work, dude.
Thank you.
You did great work. And you deserve the acclaim. It's so fun to look at these like metal news sites and see written, directed, produced,
filmmaker
shot.
Chris Aballo or one. I forget, one of the articles said Chris Aballo or filmmaker Chris Aballo was tasked with the job of blah blah blah. And I said, God damn.
I was
I'm a filmmaker. This is great.
I was remiss. I was like, award winning, motherfuckers. Like, get it right.
But I didn't win for directing. I won for writing and acting.
It still
I'm still
counts.
Well, award winning film The Out. But I wasn't going to push to like, can you guys mention The Out was award winning? You know, I just want people to watch it on YouTube. Hey, link for that down below too. If you haven't seen the short film The Out, watch it.
It's pretty damn good.
It's very good, I will say. I'm biased though. So yeah, it was, and that was an interesting experience. I mean, you know, again, get into it later, but it was interesting to be a filmmaker for hire. Even that was something. Granted, I came into it with my own angle and my own pitch.
Yeah, but it's
to be elaborated on later. But it was interesting to like this was.
You got
it wasn't
paid to
my
be an artist.
Yeah, it wasn't my. I wasn't the focus of the project, but I got to craft the project, and there was. I mean, I'll tell you, collaborating with those guys was amazing. With Doc and Corey, producing with me, and very much in a very collaborative effort as far as figuring things out. They had excellent notes when it came to the cuts of the film. When it came to the things I gave, they had great takes on those notes and things that could be done a little differently, which I wanted. That's why I sent it to you. I'm like, what do you think? You know, it's just, how does this play? But those guys were great. John and Byron, who I interviewed as well separately, were great. And it was awesome to do it from a band that I not only respect and who I've known of since I was a teenager, young guitar player in New Jersey, hearing about this band of it's black guys in a metal band. And people always said it in hushed tones. It was kind of funny. Like, because in the 90s, it wasn't a thing. Now nobody bats an eye when you see there's like, you know, those, you know, on TikTok, it's just like, oh, it's an emo band. It's all black guys or something. It's like, or, you know, people of color in whatever genre. In 2025, it doesn't make a difference. The pickleball distracting you?
No. What was the... I was just going to make a reference, but I know I was going to say originally Living Color, but then I was just like, well, wait, what was the other one that was
if we're gonna the other one was who?
It was a ska band, that all black ska band. Just I'm blanking on the name. It's right there. Oh my god.
What, contemporaries of theirs? Like 80s, 90s?
Yeah, no, I was just like, you made me think of that. You made me think
I don't know. I mean, everybody points to Living Color, but the first reference point for that brand of rock and funk is Mother's Finest, who predates Living Color by, I mean, as far as record releases, 15 years. Yeah. Do yourself a favor, look up some Mother's Finest, people. It's a crime that Joyce Kennedy is not mentioned in the conversations with Shaka Khan and Tina Turner, but that's another soapbox for another day. But
you did great.
Thank you. Those guys were great. They were great collaborators. They're incredible band, and
now they'll call you when they need a biopic director.
Maybe, or they'll have some buddies in bands call me, that's a whole other. I mean, we could talk more about that off mic. Let's not carry on about Chris made this documentary. It's great though. I'm super proud of it, anyway. And thank you. I appreciate you tooting my horn
because you're a talented motherfucker.
Well, thanks, man. It's always nice having your trumpet blown by someone else. So, see, another one of those things that just catch you off guard.
As Ugo says.
Yeah.
Pause. Pause. I think I'll adopt that versus my.
I don't like the double entendres you pull, Aballo. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say at the top. Yeah. So unfortunately, no, I know there wasn't a Halloween live stream this year. That was disappointing to people. Next week's episode, yes, next Monday, we're sticking with that for these last two episodes. Cape 250 is not going to be a half in the bag holiday spectacular, and I only say that because there's not new holiday stuff to talk about, if I'm being honest. Like, there's not new, like, what was your Christmas like growing up? What's Christmas like with your kids? Like, we kind of gone over that stuff, so I don't want to do a retread.
You didn't want to talk about the ground-shattering, earth-moving Chuck E. Cheese Christmas special that came out?
I mean, that's a whole... If we're going to talk about Christmas specials, that's a different story. But I
don't think we've had a Christmas specials discussion. I don't think so.
We talked a bit about it in 2022, but you weren't on that show. Which is odd. There were two, actually. That was a fun memory. So I was saying to you before we started that I like you and I just doing the shows, particularly at this point. It's just us. Because 2 years ago, literally 2 years ago today, the episode that was released was Cape 239, which was you and I, which was the second to last episode of the year before the holiday-oriented finale. And yeah, the 2021 Half in the Bag Holiday Spectacular was recorded 4 years ago today.
Wow.
Which you weren't at because you were too tired to come to work.
There's a
Mike
lot of
busted your balls about that.
There's a lot of anniversaries around this time. That's weird.
It's just so funny that there are two Cape episode anniversaries on the day we just happen to be recording this. I think it's interesting. So
that's the cosmic power of CAPEPOD.
It will be coming in 2026. But I like doing that because we kind of, even though that was a shorter show than this one is, I can tell you that already, that I like that you and I can sit and also kind of like reflect. And it's a nice bookend too, because you were on the second episode of this year and then you're on this one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're accounted for.
Because we've done a lot creatively this year too. So it was like. Yeah.
Well, that's been the thing. And that's been, as you well know, and as I've said already, sorry to sound repetitive, people, but because there has been a lot going on. Cape had to take a back seat because there was other stuff to be worked on. And as much as I would like to, it's all time
hired
again.
To be a filmmaker.
Yeah. But I mean, even aside from that, and there were even my supposed to be my next narrative short film.
Which will still happen.
It will happen, but now it's not even on the back burner. It's in a cabinet. Okay. Because I told you I have a different idea for what we're going to do, but I'm like, This isn't happening because it didn't happen last November, which I mentioned on social media. It was supposed to come together the week before Thanksgiving, fell apart 2 weeks before. Tentatively was going to happen earlier in the beginning part of 2025. But as I mentioned, things were kind of rocky. And then it was going to be September when it looked like September might not work out. It was once again going to be November pre-Thanksgiving. And it still didn't come together. But I mean, this documentary did. So that's funny how things turn out.
Ebb and flow of filmmaking. Dude.
Yeah, but also the energy, that's the part that
for every one thing that happens, there's four that don't.
Well, exactly. And that's the thing that's interesting because, and that's why I don't love talking about, I mean, we both know people who, as soon as they have a conversation with somebody about an idea, they're posting about it on social media about like, can't wait to make this feature. And it's like, don't do that. I don't like doing that. And that's why even with this documentary shot on September 20th.
I used to do that.
I worked on it.
I used to
quietly.
do it. And I've since learned, don't. Because people who pay attention will then start asking questions. And if you don't deliver, it just makes you look like you don't know what you're doing.
Because it's like, they announce stuff, but they don't actually get a lot of stuff done. Yeah. So who knows of what they're doing, number one, if these are legitimate things they're posting about. But also, you're as somebody who, if you want to be hireable or if you want to work, you're also presenting it as if you're busier than you actually are, because not all of these ideas you post about come to fruition.
Yeah.
So
it's a double-edged sword, because I get that filmmakers need to make themselves known and they need to talk about what they work on, but they need to talk about their things that they're actually
happening. Well, that's the announcement's the fun part. I was saying that to our buddy who you were telling me is shooting in February, tentatively, shooting a directorial debut in February. And I was talking to him about that and said, my suggestion, because he's like, I have these ideas and I want to do this. And I said, I have a complex about it. I'm not telling you what to do, but my suggestion is don't say a word, work on it quietly. When it's done, you can say something, but life be lifing, which is the modern way of saying shit happens. So
I didn't announce tree lights until we were a month out from our crowdfunding campaign.
But that makes sense because that was partly
100%.
There was public participation about it.
There's public participation. There's crowdfunding. There's
so that makes total sense.
So it's tough because there's one element to it where it's like I know. There's one element where it's like, because this is from personal experience. Mm-hmm. When I finished the second draft of my film, The Highest Score.
Yes.
It's a feature script that I love. I would love to make this thing. But I was so excited to finish that second draft that I posted about it. I was like, I've been working on this idea, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
I don't know when it'll get made. But that's the thing, is I think that's the difference, is I was literally like, I don't know when this will get made, but I hope it does. Right. Which I think that's the fine kind of compromise a little bit. But it's literally like, when it's just the idea, I think is like...
Well, there are people that we know who, when they have a conversation about something, they have to announce like, excited to be getting opportunities. Looks like I'm going to be doing this. And it's, I don't know. I look at that.
I literally just read that post.
Okay. We might be talking about the same person, but it's
rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Look, everybody can do, look, you can handle your public, messaging however you want to.
Yeah.
I have a complex about it because shit happens. I mean, the last time I announced something literally before it was done was Cape 200, which was back in 2022. Because what happened? Someone who I was hanging out with a couple of friends who were going to be on the show had someone close to them test positive for COVID. They were getting tested, but since we hung out, they didn't know if they had it and if they passed on to us. So out of caution, I announced the day we were going to record Cape 200 that Cape 200 was happening. And then I get that, and I said, not taking the chance.
No.
Because worst case, we don't have it. Turns out this person didn't have it, which means we didn't get it. But at the same time, like we said earlier with the Black Friday special, take one, it was Black Friday special 3, take one. It was like, do we show up and possibly spread and get everybody sick and bring these germs into the studio? Like, none of that is cool. So out of an abundance of caution, backed it off. And then it got pushed back for 2 weeks because I put up archive video from pre-show nonsense, Sicilian Vampire and stuff like that. And
still great.
Yeah, like because I just said I don't want to roll the dice on it. And it was the last time I announced something before it was done. Even though we were doing it on the day, that day something happened.
Oh God!
And even I mean, technically,
with
I did. Even though the Black Friday special, like people would expect at this point, with it being the third one, it's going to come out on Black Friday. I don't think me announcing that was jinxing it.
Yeah,
it was a cursed episode. Shit kept happening.
Listen, I have my version of this, and then I have a great segue, which is so funny.
Okay,
it is literally my first version of my Christmas album. I was near done. I was just remixing. So when I make music, my like end process is to listen to it in the car. If it sounds good in the car, it sounds good. I also then go listen to it in like the worst circumstance as well. Like you listen to it in the best, then you listen to it in the worst.
Oh, totally.
And if it sounds great in both, you're good. It sounded great in the shitty speaker. It wasn't a shitty speaker. But it didn't sound right in the car.
Unremarkable speakers.
Yeah. So went to remix it, announced the thing because I was damn near done. My fucking hard drive crashed.
And
I lost the whole record.
Yeah.
And to say that I was devastated is an understatement. Like my mom remembers when that happened because that was the first time I'd ever lost something like that creatively.
Yeah.
I'd been working. So it was also during the pandemic. So I was working on that for probably about 5 months. And I did have a backup, but it wasn't like a complete one. Like what ended up happening was I had just kind of been demoing for a while and I had those demos backed up. But then towards the last month was when I was like, oh, let me put lyrics to these and like, let me like finish these.
Right.
Because for whatever reason, lyrics come quick. So I was like, okay, cool. So I had like some instrumentals, but some were not complete. Basically I had pieces of it. And then literally a week after I announced it. And I was just, oh my God, to say I was so mad was an understatement. I think I don't do it now also to prevent a jinx. Just like, which is so strange because I'm not that superstitious.
I'm not either, but shit happens. That's reality. That's not being superstitious. It's, it was like announcing Black Friday was not, I mean, it was going to happen anyway. It was going to happen with the two of you, potentially the original date.
The universe tried again.
But and then it, tried a second time and then had to be rescheduled for a third time. And that third time, it was literally goes out to start his car and the car doesn't turn over. And
then tried to stop a fourth time.
I'm fucked. Yeah. And then, the technology betrayed us and almost wiped the show. I mean, that's happened to me. I have friends who do podcasts who literally did entire interviews and forgot to press record. There was one episode of Cape where it was a Zoom episode and I forgot to press record on Audacity because I would always record the audio separately.
Yeah, no.
and not use the Zoom audio. So there is one episode where it's the Zoom audio because I forgot to press record on Audacity, and thankfully I have all of that stuff saved. And I had my settings so that there was a track of the recording itself and individual tracks for the participants.
Oh,
so I had.
So you had a backup.
I had backup versions of it, but the quality wasn't the same because it wasn't going through the mixer. So that stuff happens.
Shit happens.
And all of that shit happens. And
no, it does, but like
that's all the more reason why I just don't like talking about things until they're done. I mean, even
exactly. Like that's why when
I announced the out when it was sent to festivals.
Yes,
and that was it.
Yeah.
Even that I didn't. And that
I didn't post when we wrapped. You didn't post.
So much so you guys didn't even take like really behind the scenes photos because you thought I just said no. I don't want you to post on social media today that we're making. But there was a little bit of like Ugo didn't have any photos because he thought me saying like don't post on social media was not. I was just like no, don't post it. We're shooting a film today.
Yeah,
let's wait. But you could shoot all you want, and you and Nick did shoot. Well, I know Nick shot a bunch. I think you have a few things too, and. It was like, no, I just don't want to announce like we're shooting a film today because, what if it sucks? And I don't mean that in that way, but just what if things happen? What if
I will announce a film? I will announce a film is wrapped only because it's a Herculean effort to put those fuckers together.
Oh, yeah. Well, you did it the day after we wrapped Tree Lights. You posted about it. And I was like, okay, good. But it's done.
Also, because
that's fine. It's in
that
the can.
one I also had backers, so I had to say something.
Oh, for sure. Yes.
So... But I liked that also. Like, hey, I have to do these things. I'm obligated.
Yes.
Like there's an element there that is kind of like, oh, that's cool. But like, I don't think, to be quite honest with you, I don't think anybody should announce anything until like it is like completed.
Well, dude, that's also why non-disclosure agreements exist.
That's why non-disclosure agreements exist.
But on our level.
But also that they do on our level to a degree, but nobody wants to ask because it makes you sound like an asshole.
It makes it sound like you don't trust people.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing.
But they are, there's reasons people shoot, guest stars on episodic television or movies obviously have those clauses for reason.
It's
for
not
a good
the norm,
reason.
And Marvel made this the thing. It is not the norm for us to get teasers while they're shooting.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's also you got to have constant engagement.
Which listen, I get
Marvel's the only one who doesn't believe in Marvel fatigue, though. So what does that tell you? Like literally, we're gonna put. You haven't liked our last couple movies. We're gonna give you 3 movies in 4 months. Okay, that's not gonna fix the Marvel fatigue, but okay.
I barely remember what Marvel movies have come out since. But no, it's just when it comes to announcing stuff, like even with film, with all these things. Just when it's done.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to hear about it, especially with things now. Like have the potential to be locked away after like a fucking tax write-off.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine like had Coyote versus Acme never come out? Like you hear about it and you're like, that actually sounds cool. I can't wait to see it. Crap.
It was going to happen.
Yeah.
Even, look, Brendan Fraser's been doing
it happened with Batgirl.
Press for Rental Family, and his whole thing
that
is saying,
could have been that bad.
Dude, have you seen some of the shit they have put out? I mean, yes, they could say like Weapons was a hit, Sinners was a hit.
Sinners was absolutely a hit.
But I know that, but I'm saying like Warner Bros. Can say like, but we've made movies that are this blah blah. They made a lot of bullshit too in the last couple of years. So let's not look at like Batgirl couldn't have been unsalvageable.
I refuse to believe. I refuse to accept
it was strictly
that this movie was
It's because you have a CEO.
In a world where they have released Justice League, the first version of it, that they were like,
dude,
hey,
listen,
it's worse than this.
You have right now, here's the problem with film and television. And a lot of people have, said like, where's this going? Do you still want to do it? What's the future? And look, I've questioned it too, because on a mainstream level, that's why we're doing so many independent projects, because on a mainstream level, who knows what that even is nowadays? I mean, studios exist and TV shows exist and all this stuff, but it's like, streaming doing 10 episodes of a show a year and people not even, and being locked in exclusive contracts where they can't work on something else. And it's like, okay, but you're doing 10 episodes a year. You can't live on money from 10 episodes a year.
I'll be quite honest. This is why I only watched the first episode, but I stopped, even though I liked it a lot. That's why I haven't watched this new It show. Because I know for a fact there's not going to be a new season of it for probably 2 or 3 years. And I'm just like,
well, I mean, that's a joke with Stranger Things. It's like, it's been 10 years now. Like
exactly.
And
like, I don't care.
These are adults. And in the end, it's going to be like 40 episodes of a show over the course of 10 years. It's stupid. Yeah, you could say, oh, but they're 1.5 episodes. They're like movies.
No,
it's like,
fucking not.
Stop it. Like, it's stupid. That model.
One of the things the Duffers did when they left Netflix was they were like, we're going to Paramount. Why? Because we want to make movies.
Yeah.
I'm like, even they understand, dude. Like,
but when it comes to all of this stuff, the problem is all of these corporations have bought film and television studios. Yeah. And they aren't creatives. They're empty suits who don't have a creative cell in their body, and they're just looking at numbers.
This is why they think that AI filmmaking or AI video or anything like that has anything to do with making art. The fact that it has any potential, it's like, no, it's one thing when people share videos on social media that are clearly AI. People are not going to pay $18 to go see an AI film in the theater. No. Remember, I'm just saying this because it was something that was dabbled with in the early 2000s. Sony made a Final Fantasy fully animated movie. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that was like PG-13. Well, people don't. Time has forgotten it. Why? Because people didn't want to go see it because they still want to see recognizable faces and characters and all that. They don't want to see a fully animated thing. I mean, different when we're talking about something like a Pixar movie.
Yes.
Or, an animated film, or, Despicable Me 14 or however, and those are going to go on forever because people keep going to see the same bullshit. But it's
first one was good.
That's
where it stops.
I saw Minions because Sandra Bullock, but I never need to watch any of those movies again. I did see the first Despicable Me.
Minions made me laugh. Minions made me laugh.
I mean, I saw it in the theater. I watched it once. I'm good. I don't need to watch it again. But anyway.
But yeah, no, it all goes back to say, just don't announce something until it's ready, which is why when, Oasis announced that they were coming back, I was literally like, are you?
Here's the thing. When they say we're doing this and tickets go on sale Friday, it's legit.
But even then, because here's the thing. We know film, TV, and we know music a little bit.
Right.
We've seen things at the 0 hour fall apart.
Oh, yeah.
So, but with their reputation, even if they were to say it goes on sale Friday,
you can say that. But Oasis isn't Guns N' Roses. It's everybody makes a joke, just like, oh, those guys are volatile. Man, they're not out of control. That's the thing. They're not out of control. They were. They stopped. They gave up drugs by 2000, I think. So I mean, only the first, in their 20s, early 30s, there was partying and all that. But it was the relationship with brothers, can be combustible, which is that's a known thing in bands. But it's also all right, there's only so much oh my God, are they going to last through the tour and blah blah. It's like Guns N' Roses have been back together for a decade now, and I mean. Not fully together, but Slash is back in the band, and let's face it, if it's Slash and Axl, it's Guns N' Roses. No disrespect to Duff McKagan, but as long as it's the three of them, it's been almost 10 years since I don't mean to sound cynical, but since he got divorced.
Wow!
But
I didn't know he actually came. So I tend to follow more film and TV news than I do music. So there are some things where I'm just getting caught up. I literally. Maybe 3 years after he came back, I found out that homeboy from AC/DC came back.
Yeah, and I was Brian Johnson's back in AC/DC.
I was like,
doing a couple
what?
Shows. Yeah.
Because I had heard that he had his ear destroyed or something like that.
His hearing is bad, but it hasn't impaired his ability to perform, apparently. But
more power to him, because I would love to see them before they go away.
Well, you got one more shot next September at MetLife. Oh, yeah. We'll get into that because it's funny you bring that up unless you're trying to sneak a segue in. But listen, but that's also thank you, number one. But that's something. I mean, listen, when Corey Pierce, drummer for God Forbid, was on Cape 210, and we talked about it, and I talked about the band breaking up. He said oh no, there were offers right away, even after we announced we split. We're still getting offers to play festivals and all that stuff. So there was always demand. We just didn't actually make it happen until 2022. At that point, their first reunion show was announced. I interviewed him August, so it was about a month before their first show back in 2022. Mm-hmm. And there were offers all the time, so it's not like this stuff couldn't potentially happen. I mean, Van Halen tried to get a bunch of reunions with David Lee Roth that never took off. In the 90s and early 2000s. We get offers
for PM Dawn. My dad's gone.
Exactly. The duo that is PM Dawn doesn't exist in form, but it's the name. Exactly. It's people go see, and I'm not shitting on bands who do all this. I know there's bands like Vixen or Quiet Riot or all those where it's there's no original members in the band anymore.
Journey.
Yes, but they're carrying on the legacy. Well, there's still original members in Journey. Neil Sean is in the band, and Jonathan Cain.
I was just reading about this too, because like they had just did a new rotation of people, and I think
you sure? Because he's been the only consistent member.
Well, my phone is in my wallet.
I don't believe. No, I mean,
I'm almost certain.
Him and Jonathan Cain have been the consistent members, I believe.
I don't
guitar
think
player and keyboard player.
I don't think Journey has an original member anymore.
Okay, I mean maybe not.
I don't know, but like that's always a weird situation. I do get that.
I mean, there are bands that are known to have a rotation. Obviously, you know, you got bands like the Allman Brothers, you know, or Lynyrd Skynyrd, where there's a family element to it. So
that was my reaction
story.
When I heard. I was watching the Macy's Day Parade, and that was my reaction when I heard. And ladies and gentlemen, Kool and the Gang. Excuse me?
Well, it's like the Temptations on the Four Tops tour. It's like one dude. You know, it's like, and you know, two dudes are 35. There's a guy in his 50s, and then there's the guy with the cane is the original member.
Yeah.
So, and again, I'm not saying that in disrespect. It's people are still going to go.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And there are people who still do it. I mean, even in a case like AC/DC, it's like this is the last chance to see them because they're in their 70s. They're not going to do it forever. This is probably going to be the last chance to see them. So if you haven't seen them, and I'm guessing you haven't,
nope.
Okay, this is it. So you have to go. Now, having said that, so I was hyped for Oasis. Okay, now my short story, and
this was a shock. So we always talk a little bit before the show actually starts.
Yes,
I hit record
a little bit,
but there's banter. It kind of baffled me when I realized you have not talked about this Oasis show, and you love this band.
I haven't. Well, as I said in Cape 241, there was talk about doing an Oasis special. I thought about that because since
it was announced, change that?
Well, no. Look, September. Or no, I'm sorry. I think it was the first Friday in October. It was right before my birthday. The tickets went on sale for the New Jersey dates of August 31st and September 1st, 2025. So almost a year in advance.
That's sold out.
Yes. And I got in on the pre-sale, and I got tickets for myself and 3 friends. So I knew I was going to the first show in East Rutherford at MetLife Stadium. Mm-hmm. And to give so I flirted with the idea of like, I'll do an Oasis special because Liam Gallagher made a comment about like, someone had said like, when we get a new record, he's like, it's already done. So I was like, oh shit, maybe they're going to put out a new album before this tour kicks off because the tour wasn't starting until summer. No, they didn't. So people were saying, oh, he was just fucking around or whatever. It's not true. Who knows what the case is? Maybe there's an album in the can because we don't know how long they haven't done any press for the tour. And why would they? It's sold out. They don't need to advertise the tour. All the dates sold out. So good for them. You don't need to do interviews when it's like, well, the tickets are sold already. What are we promoting? People can't get in. So anyway, who knows if the record's done? Who knows how long this was gestating before it was announced? Who knows how much work was being done prior to?
How was the show?
Okay, well, we'll get to that. So my history with Oasis, this is going to be the short version, I promise you.
Abridged.
It will be the abridged version. I knew them in the 90s like everybody else when I heard the first single, Supersonic. It was getting played on the radio, and it was getting play on MTV. The video was on MTV. And Live Forever, of course, which got played on MTV and VH1 because it was a lighter song, so it qualified for VH1 because VH1 didn't veer as the music wasn't as heavy. And I'm not saying like metal or anything like that, but even like a harder rock. Like I don't think a song, let's say like
VH1 played lighter fare.
I don't think, VH1 didn't play like Black Hole Sun or something like that. Not a heavy song, but not, maybe a little too much to be. I mean, that video is disturbing as fuck anyway. But they wouldn't veer toward that kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. They might play Nothing Else Matters. Who knows at the time. Anyway, so I liked Supersonic. I liked Live Forever. Those are the only songs I knew. All of a sudden, it's 1995, and I'm watching VH1, and this black and white video comes on, and a guy walks in, sits down with an acoustic guitar, starts strumming, and it's Wonderwall. And I'm like, I saw What's the Story, Morning Glory. I'm like, they put a second album out already? The first album only came out last year. Like that was a big thing in the 90s because bands did that in the 70s. Sometimes in the same calendar year, they put out their first 2 albums.
Like people, my favorite is when people look at the past catalogs of like older stars, and it's like 60 albums deep, and they're like,
they're like, oh my god, how can you? Yeah, because people used to crank out albums.
My favorite of that is Ray Charles. Ray's got so many records that people just don't know about. So when I tell people I'm a Ray Charles fan, they think like, oh, like Hit the Road Jack, and I'm like, ha, simpleton.
Yeah. George on My Mind. It's like, oh no, man made like 60 albums.
Yeah,
but so my introduction was everybody, was the singles from those first two, and then Champagne Supernova came out shortly after Wonderwall, as a single. My sister bought the CDs right away. My sister's 3 years older than me, so she was in high school at that point. So she bought Definitely Maybe and What's the Story, Morning Glory. But I never really delved into them. I knew the singles, and that was it. No, she bought. I mean, I would borrow them. I think I maybe recorded the singles on cassettes. At least Supersonic and Live Forever, I probably put on cassette or something.
Yes.
Yeah, making cassettes at home that I was doing my Walkman on the school bus. So that was kind of it. I didn't know. I remember Be Here Now coming out because I remember there's a lot of hype for their third album because it was coming off of Morning Glory. It was, a big deal. There were pre-orders and it was a whole big thing. But I didn't remember singles. I didn't remember fanfare. I remember friends talking about it, but I never actually heard the album. Mm-hmm. Fast forward 2004, I'm dating this girl and she had What's the Story, Morning Glory, and she would play. Now CD players were standard in the car, circa 2004. She would put the disc in. She would play Wonderwall, which is followed by Don't Look Back in Anger, which I didn't know. I don't remember that song getting played, like the video getting played, the song on the radio. I don't remember that at the time. So that song was new to me.
That never get like that much radio.
I mean, obviously bigger hit in the UK, and now it's a legacy track, so to speak. Like now it is a hit worldwide. But at the time, I don't remember being played on the radio circa 95 when the album came out. And then would skip to Champagne Supernova at the end.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Multiple times. And did that with albums where she would like just play the singles and never listen to the album. So at one point I said, why don't we like put the CD on? Let's listen to the album. And listen to What's the Story, Morning Glory all the way through. I was like, this album's great. And then grabbed my sister, even though at that, no, I'm sorry. That was before my sister moved to California. So that's before I was in California. I borrowed Definitely Maybe and What's the Story, Morning Glory from my sister and was playing them in my car. And Definitely Maybe blew my head open because I was like, this is a debut album and it's so fucking good. And it's still my favorite Oasis album. And What's the Story, Morning Glory is a level up in that. Mm-hmm. And definitely, now sidebar, I go to guitar college circa 2006, Musicians Institute. I'm not being negative about it. I'm just putting a casual spin on it for myself. But here's the thing, Definitely Maybe fucked me up because I was like, oh, debut album needs to be strong. So as I've talked about before in my music career, to use the term very loosely, I wasn't as willing to put stuff out there. I was guilty of polishing it, or this idea isn't good enough to present to the band.
You polished or to the whatever. Point of no return.
Well, no, it's just like perpetually working on it and it's never done.
No, that's kind of what I'm referring to. It's just like polished to the point of no return for me means I don't have to put that out. I'll tweak it. And to the point that I'm like, I wrote that song 4 years ago.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is? There's a quote I heard recently, and it wasn't from the person I heard it from. It's a quote that's just out there, but perfection is the enemy of good enough. Right?
Yep.
But I didn't have a sense of that when I was 24.
That's why this is my favorite quote in conjunction with that. Mm-hmm. Art is never completed. It's abandoned.
Yes.
Yep.
Agreed. So
because we could work on this thing for 100 years.
Oh, for sure.
If we lived that long, for a fact that there would be records where people are like, I worked on this.
Definitely. Yeah. Speaking of Guns N' Roses, like Chinese Democracy, where it's been worked on for 10 years or more.
Smile. Shit.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Beach Boys, Smile. That's right. So I love the album so much. I learned there was a point I could still play most of them, but I learned the entirety of Definitely Maybe and What's the Story, Morning Glory on guitar. I can play those two albums top to bottom, and still will bust out a couple of songs when I'm sitting at home strumming or when I go into a guitar store or something. But anyway, huge. So their next album that came out was Don't Believe the Truth in May. It was May 31st, 2005. I remember that because it was the last day in May. It was easy to remember. And they were playing at Madison Square Garden. It had already sold out. I got tickets for my sister and I on eBay. It's one of the best times.
The Fat Albert movie came out.
My sister. Not the Fat Albert movie that was supposed to be, but that's another episode. Yeah. That's another episode.
Great pull.
So
anyway, just kidding. Anyway, so that album comes
The Cape Bar Archive never forgets. So we went and saw them at the Garden. It was the first time playing the Garden. Shockingly, you weren't playing it supposedly at their supposed height.
You had a photo of that, didn't you?
Yes, I took a photo of the marquee at the Garden.
You did, because I remember you shared it.
I've shared it to my Instagram story. Yeah, well, that's why I like having Instagram story highlights for different years, because I can highlight story posts, because obviously not everything gets a wall post, so to speak. So, excuse me. So yeah, I posted it on whatever. It was, I think it was June 22nd, 2005 was the show. But I took a picture of the marquee. And now this is disposable cameras back in the day. Or I may have had.
I know what these are.
No, but they don't know necessarily if they're younger than you. Or maybe it was an actual camera. It wasn't a digital camera. This is still film. Yeah. Rolls of film that you would get. So I had a couple of pictures from the show itself, which you would just sneak in, before everybody had a camera in their pocket on their phone. But my sister and I went to the city. We had dinner at Hooters. It was a great day. Like, we had such a great day out in the city. That was one of the best days my sister and I had ever spent together, was seeing Oasis. They sold out Madison Square Garden. Fast forward, October of 2005, a mere 4 months later, not even 4 months, they're playing the House of Blues in Atlantic City, which was not sold out, which is crazy. I know. I'm like, this is a club show. They just played the Garden. What are they doing? They're coming back in such a short time.
So was it a last-minute show?
It was announced like 6 weeks out or something. So they were coming back and do another run on the East Coast. But I mean,
maybe it wasn't purposely promoted.
No, it was. I mean, it was. I mean, now listen. Obviously,
I mean, if you hear,
it's a different animal now.
If you hear Oasis playing a House of Blues, the
Showboat had just opened, and the House of Blues and the Showboat Casino had just opened in Atlantic City.
That's
now they don't exist anymore. But it was probably like a big get to have a band like Oasis come through, who was sold out the Garden. But at the same time,
what, House of Blues doesn't exist anymore?
The House of Blues in Atlantic City does not.
Oh,
that was in Showboat, which I believe is completely gone. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the whole casino's gone.
I didn't know if the franchise, the business House of Blues.
Oh no, House of Blues still exists.
That's a Dan Aykroyd.
So
thing, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, but the one on Sunset Strip doesn't exist either. I went to the last show at that was covered in Cape in 2015. Oh, that's a vaulted episode. Well, regardless, so got to see them twice in 2005. Didn't see the 2008-2009 tour when their next album came out, and then 2009 they split up. I always knew they'd get back together, didn't know when, and when this was announced. Now, they became one of my favorite bands. There's 7 bands that I hold in equally high regard, and Oasis is among that magnificent 7.
Give me the 5.
Well, there are 7, so there are 5. 7. Okay. Bruce Springsteen.
Okay.
Ramones.
Okay.
Cheap Trick. Iron Maiden. Def Leppard.
Electric Mayhem.
No. They've only done one album, dude.
Hey, it still counts.
It counts, but they're not as deep in the discographies as bands from 50 plus years. Fair. Like I'm naming.
And then the last.
And the last 2, Oasis and the Wild Hearts, / anything Ginger Wildheart associated. So anyway, Oasis became one of my favorite bands. Eventually, it was going to, but then they announced this tour. I was lucky enough to get in on the pre-sale, got 4 tickets, and was highly anticipating this concert, as were everybody. Now, as time went on, and because these shows sold out right away, it became, through social media, and especially once the shows kicked off in the UK, the initial reunion shows and how well they were received, and how great the band sounded, it became like the event of the year. Because here's the thing. They were playing, if you don't know, the only North American shows, well, the only US shows, let's say, they played in Toronto. And they did I think they did 1 or 2 shows down in Mexico. But otherwise, the U.S. shows, they were Chicago. And then the next week, there were 2 shows in East Rutherford, New Jersey at MetLife Stadium. Mm-hmm. And then the next week, there were 2 shows at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. That's it. That's it. All sold out. So it became like the event of the summer. And I'm not overselling it in that regard.
They went on a pub tour sized tour and date wise, but I mean, attendance wise, these are arena shows.
Arena shows sold. I mean, you're talking about 50,000 people. Yeah. So I mean, huge shows, but so few shows. So it became such a huge event, and the tickets were pricey. I'll say it. I mean, it's not that it's not out there anyway, but like per ticket, $247 after fees. So I had to pony up $1,000 to get these 4 tickets that I bought in one shot through Ticketmaster. I mean, everybody obviously paid me back for the tickets, but that's like I had I'm grateful, dude.
Crazy.
No, well, but here's the thing. I justified it. Number one, it's not the most I ever spent on a ticket. That would be Rush, the R30 tour, which was rumored to be their last tour. Those tickets actually got off of eBay as well, and paid $500 for 2 tickets. That was $250. So these were second by $3 per ticket. Quick.
Are you going to see this comeback tour?
No, priced out. Okay. And I'm saying that We'll get to the big shows and the price and all that later. But
Oasis, you spend almost.
Well, I said I would have seen them. Well, here's the thing. For $247, I'm like, you know what? I easily would have gone to see them at least twice had they continued beyond 2009. So I said, okay, I'm going to see one show, but it's a big show. It's a long show. It's a 23-song set.
Yeah.
And it's, once again, to speak as highly as possible of those first two albums, which, I mean, it's been said for 30 years at this point about those two albums. But the entire set, with the exception of, I think, 3 songs, 1 song from 2002, and 2 songs from the third album, everything is from the period of those first 2 albums. You can't fuck with those 20 songs. It was a set list that's incredible.
Okay.
So the show,
the type of show where everybody's cheering for every single song.
Everybody's singing along to every single song. Now the plan was, my 2 friends who had gotten tickets, I was going with Sherry, who you all know of and I have mentioned. We were going, and the 2 friends who I also got tickets for, we were figuring out a plan. Because I was going to transfer the tickets to them regardless, because you could do that on the Ticketmaster app. Yeah. So I was going to send it to one of their accounts.
I had a really funny bit. I was just about to, when you said Sherry's name, I was about to go, who? But I felt Primo hit me in the back of my head. Like, excuse me? And I just was like, nope, can't do it to her. Can't do it. And she's not even here. And I just was like, I can't do it. I love you, Sherry.
So we were trying to figure out the plan, like leading up to the show. Yeah. So these other 2 friends, they wanted to get there at like 2 p.m. and hang out in the parking lot and pregame and all this other stuff. I was like, yeah, no, can't do that. Like I'm beyond the age that I'm going to spend 9 hours on my feet for a concert. There were 2 opening bands, but I said doors are at 5. No, the field was general admission. So we're going to be standing the whole time.
Oh, good Lord.
So I said, I am not going to stand for 9 hours. I figured the show was going to be over by 11 p.m. because they were going on at 9:15 or something, or 9-ish, 8:45. I don't know. But I said, we're going to be getting out of there at 11. And there's a long walk back to the train to get to Secaucus to get,
9 hours on your feet, then probably a 45-minute walk to the train.
Oh, it was a mile from exiting because I saw by my step count. It was literally a mile that we walked out of the stadium to get to the train.
Even if it wasn't heavy, that just sounds abysmal.
Well, I said the gates don't open because they were publishing like the set times and when doors open and all. I said the gates not opening until 5. I said I'll probably get there, like looking at the train schedule. I said I'll probably get there at like 5:30 because I said people are going to come in.
What time are they going on?
I think like 8:45, 8:30, something like that. So I said standing for 3 hours, I'm good with that because I'll also be standing through the show itself.
Yeah.
So
were there any openers? Or
there were 2 openers. Bands I wasn't particularly into. And I'm not, I forget the first band. I don't remember the name. Didn't drive me crazy. The music just didn't move me. Cage the Elephant was the middle band. They don't do anything for me. So, they're fine. As performers, they're fine, but like the music just doesn't do it for me. So,
that's fine.
And got there, when we walked in, it was right around the time the first band was taking the stage. And they had actually cut the field in half. So we were in the second half. Our friends who got there too, who were at the gate when things opened, were like up practically near the stage, which was fine by me. I don't want to be that close anyway. And I said that to them because I said, I want to see the show. They got huge video screens. There's a whole thing going on because they're playing to an arena. So being up front, you're going to be, it's like front row to movie theater. You're going to be doing this. And I didn't want to do that to drink it all in.
You mean to tell me general admission was almost $250?
Yes. There were seats that were that much too.
That's
But I still want to be on the floor. But they had split the field in half, and they were giving everybody colored wristbands. So we were in the second half. Granted, from midfield, there were maybe 10 people in front. We were like 10 people deep from midfield. So we still had a perfect view.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. With there being so few shows, this concert was basically the International Coalition of Drunken Dickheads were the attendees at the show.
No.
And I say international because there were people from the UK, there were people from Europe, there were people from all other places who came there, who had been in the sun drinking all afternoon, and then came in, were drunk. I'll say this, there was no sense of community whatsoever.
Really?
And the thing that kind of
crystallized, because camaraderie.
Both. I'm saying community where it's not like we're all in a crowd, we're all enjoying the show, having this experience together. Yeah. Now, having said that, the show was on Sunday night. The Wednesday before, Sherry had gone to MetLife and saw the System of a Down Korn co-headlining show. and there was nothing but community there. There were people moshing, but they were picking each other up. Everybody was singing along. It was a friendly environment, and it wasn't people who were who've been drinking, $12 beers all day in the sun.
Also, Korn and System of a Down have been actively touring.
But they not System though. System never tours, so that was a big deal. No, System is barely active. They do shows here and there. They mostly do festivals. Okay. But the fact that they were touring in a co-headline tour was a big deal. And if you're a fan of that genre and that period of time, it was a big tour for you. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. So the crowds were drunk. They were annoying. And at the same time, we're surrounded by, aside from the drunken people who came from all parts, because you have people who didn't make it to Chicago from the eastern half of the U.S. who came up for the show. You got people who came from Europe and the UK to see the show. So that's what I'm saying. International Coalition of Drunken Dickheads there. On top of kids there, and I'm saying kids because these were like college-age kids who could have been mannequins standing there. So, Daddy bought their tickets. Daddy bought their $250 tickets, and they went because they want to be able to say they were at the event of the summer. They didn't sing. They didn't bob along. Fucking nothing. And I'm there, and here's the thing. The band was great. Like I said, the set list you can't fuck with. The band looked great. They sounded great. I think Liam Gallagher's voice sounds better than it did in 2005 when I saw
I'm not
the
gonna
band
lie,
twice.
With the way that you were setting up this segment, mm-hmm. I was so worried you were going to be here and tell me, no, this is one of the worst shows.
No, the band, the show, I have no complaints. The crowd, and then getting out of there, and the Secaucus train station, getting home and getting on the train, and all of that stuff, and all these assholes in bucket hats who want to be like Liam Gallagher.
Called me, I would have picked you guys
up. No, it was a mess. No. That's why I took the train, because we didn't want to have to deal with parking. Parking was, I didn't buy any merch because t-shirts were $50, and fuck that. I'm not paying $50 for a t-shirt.
$250 for the fucking ticket, $12 for beer, $50 for a fucking t-shirt.
Yeah, dude, I'm out. I didn't buy any merch. I bought some stuff at the pop-up in New York.
That sounds ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. And that's what I'm saying. Big shows. Now, here's the thing. I went and saw, the last time I went to big shows like that, I saw AC/DC at Giant Stadium in Dodger Stadium in 2015. And that was fine, but that was a baseball field. It was a different kind of thing. But I went and saw Bruce at Giant Stadium. The only two times I've seen him in 2003. Summer 2003, he had a run of 10 shows at Giant Stadium when Giant Stadium existed. I went to shows 3 and 8. It was the same experience. People were there just to be there. They were drunk. They weren't actually paying attention to the concert. Yes. They've been drinking all day. They were just, drunk and obnoxious. And I thought this is the problem with shows that are too big like this. And I've gone to see Iron Maiden almost every tour. I missed them when they came by in October.
What's the significance of that Bruce tour then? Bruce
because it was
all the time.
But it was the same experience for me. I'm saying for a show that big with 50,000 people, not good. The dynamic is not fun.
So it's
for me.
No. I mean, hey, I enjoy. It's close. I hear it. I enjoyed. Sure. Listen, I don't go to concerts all that often, and I'll be quite honest, dude, I'll be dreadfully honest. I kind of with the way that I grew up, I kind of got spoiled to the concert going experience.
Oh, for sure. Bit. It's flying first class. You can never go fly coach again.
It's not my fault.
I get it. No, not at all. You grew up around it.
Listen, best concert I've ever seen, and maybe this, whatever. Mm-hmm. Snoop Dogg with the Roots, Pharrell Williams, Biz Markie comes up as a surprise.
Wow. Where was this?
This was the Roots picnic.
At what was the venue?
It was where they used to have it before they moved it to the park, and it became kind of a shit show.
Okay.
It was by the seaport, by the harbor. I just don't remember where exactly.
Where
it was.
Were you talking about Atlantic City or New York?
No, Roots picnic, Philly.
Oh, sorry. Wow.
No, it's all good. So that show, not 50,000 people, but from the side, listening to this, watching this happen, incredible. Went then in the same breath, just recently saw the final ever Wu-Tang show.
Yeah.
Which was, first off, seeing Wu-Tang live is sick. Where I sat, I thought I was going to die. I will never sit in the nosebleeds at that stadium ever again. Where it's the stadium in Newark.
Yeah, Prudential Center. You were in the nosebleeds for that?
Yeah.
I was in the nosebleeds for Barclays Center, and I'm never going to go there again. That was another crowd that was fucking awful, actually. I think I've talked about that. Seeing Iron Maiden in July of 2019.
Terrifying, dude. They were so fucking steep.
I know, because that's the problem. The LA Forum is like that, too. It's very tall. So you constantly feel like you're going to fall. Barclays Center is like that. Yeah. I don't like so venues like that.
I wanted to jam out, but and it was kind of unfortunate. Every couple of minutes, I had to ground myself with the wall.
Yes. Because
I was so far, dude, I was so far up into the ceiling of this that I felt like I could touch the roof.
Yeah.
And that thought was making me dizzy.
Yeah.
It's
uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable. And especially when you're standing.
I was with my friend Stella, and honestly, I was so glad we went because I'm like, I still had the experience.
Right. But the experience of going was...
But terrifying.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine that with 50,000 people.
Dude, well, that's exactly it. And part of it is being outdoors in the summer heat, people getting drunk all day, the pre-gaming and all that. Because look, I've seen Billy Joel at the Garden, completely communal feeling with everybody singing along and everybody friendly. Because everybody's showing up at the Garden. It's at night. People aren't hammered. It's 20,000 people. I've seen Iron Maiden many times at the Prudential Center, and I'm always on the floor. Even that, with the exception of a couple of, there's a couple of assholes who are, ironically going to see a band like Iron Maiden. The crowd is cool.
So basically, these have been your last two concert experiences.
No, that was the last.
Have been abysmal.
No, this last one, just the Oasis one.
Just the Oasis.
Here's the thing. Unfortunately, as great as the band was, as great as the concert itself
was,
that's
the thing.
It's the experience measures as bad because of everything surrounding it. Getting there, getting out, and the crowd itself. Yeah. I have no complaints with the band, but the experience, unfortunately, is a net negative for me. And I don't like that. But it was also one of the things where I said, see, the problem is, I was like, shows that are too big. I felt the same way after leaving both Bruce concerts. And I thought, I don't know. I can't go see a concert this big again. And then what happens? AC/DC announces they're playing MetLife Stadium in September of 2026. And I'm like, fuck. I want to see AC/DC one last time. I guess I got to go to see a big show again. And that's going to be another thing. It's going to be filled with the same crowd.
It's probably, let me guess, that's going to be a fucking...
$300 tickets already went on sale. I haven't even looked.
Are they really on sale?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, shit. Dude. They're gone.
Well, that's the problem.
They're gone.
It was the same with the Rush shows. It's like they announce it on Monday or Tuesday, tickets go on sale Friday, and it's gone. And I'm like, that's why I've been going to club shows, because these big shows priced out. I can't pay $250 for every show. I want to see Oasis. They're one of my favorites. If they play MetLife again, I would not go. If they play at Madison Square Garden or Prudential Center, I will go. But I'm like, I can't, shows like that are too big, I don't enjoy. I'm torn because I want to see AC/DC one more time, and I have no doubt they're going to be great. I have a friend who saw them I think they played in Maryland or somewhere kind of close, and she drove down to see them last year because they were doing some shows.
Ask her,
and said they were great.
Gauge her response. Maybe this will be a great show.
Oh, she said they were great, but I think, again, the same thing. It's going to be September, and it's not going to be summer heat, but it's still going to be people warm outside, pre-gaming, drunken,
Oh, fuck.
And I'm not looking forward to that.
Can't beat.
I don't know.
Join
Club, yeah, right. Club shows are great though. So that's why I've been going to so many club shows. We're going to a show.
We are going to a show. Wait,
in March.
Who are we going to see?
We're going to see Cheap Trick in March.
We are. You did ask me about this.
I did. You're going. That's your Christmas gift, is that ticket.
That's going to be insane.
We're going. It's going to be great. I've seen them so many times. And again, they're in the Magnificent Seven for me. I go to see them every time. I haven't seen them since 2021. They just played in Long Island in October, and I was so upset that I missed it because I forgot it was happening in October. But literally, they announced the gig at Starland Ballroom, which is where, God forbid, 20 Years of Treason takes place, where we filmed that.
That's gonna be wild.
So, they always deliver. I mean, those dudes are in their 70s now, and they still fucking kill it. They haven't shifted the key in any of the songs either. They're still playing in the original key because Robin Zander can still sing his ass off.
They haven't.
So it's not like, well, no, it's true, but that happens with a lot of bands.
No. And look, I know it does.
If you talk to anybody,
it's just so funny because it's one of those things that I personally never acknowledge. I hear it, but I never talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I was just watching. I think because the Michael trailer came out, Michael Jackson's been in my rotation again.
Ah, okay.
And because of it, it made me revisit the catalog. I used to love listening to this music. and one of the things I watched was the 30th anniversary show that he did at Madison Square Garden. It basically covered his career. And when he's performing with his brothers for the last time, they perform "Can You Feel It," but it's a different lower key. and I'm like,
well, they're older. It's like, listen, New Edition, they were all like 14. They can't be singing "Candy Girl" in that original key.
But it was funny to note that it was like one of the only couple of songs where they changed the key.
Yeah. Well, that's common now because none of these people, and they'll all tell you the same thing, that they didn't expect they'd still be doing this into their 70s. I mean, there was Ozzy Osbourne, there was one of the many interviews that obviously recirculated since he passed away. And it was, do you think you're still going to be doing this at 50? No, I don't think I'll be singing. I don't think I'll be performing anymore. Mick Jagger said when he was younger.
I think Ozzy didn't believe he'd be alive.
No, but he didn't think he'd be performing. Mick Jagger said he doesn't imagine he's going to be singing Satisfaction at 50 when he was in his like late 30s. And nobody thought they were going to be doing it for this long. John Bon Jovi will tell you he wouldn't have, sung "Living on a Prayer" it wouldn't have been such a in that Paul key McCartney. If they were. Yeah, exactly. Like nobody knew because it hadn't existed. They were the first, the Stones and McCartney and even the bands that came out of the 70s. Nobody thought they were still going to be doing it.
And AC/DC didn't think they were prevalent now too because like even with acts we don't fucking listen to. Like I would honestly think that like somebody like Justin Bieber would not think to be singing the same crap all these years later, even though it's mostly crap. Like just, like these people don't, especially because they've seen it.
But I think someone like that's going to be a Vegas residency because like look at Britney. Like she doesn't tour. She does a Vegas show because she's going to perform the songs people want to hear and that's it. Fine. I don't know. And sometimes it doesn't work out. Like, a friend of mine was so excited to have tickets to J-Lo and, due to complete lack of interest, they canceled that tour. So, really? Yeah. She announced the tour, but not enough tickets sold because nobody gives a shit about it.
That's why you don't announce
waiting for tonight
until it's ready.
No, but like and look, there are a lot of smaller bands who've had to cancel tours. A lot of bands from Europe and the UK don't tour the US because it's prohibitively expensive.
Oh boy, is it!
But I mean, again, like these big shows, I'm pressed out. Would I like to go see Rush? Yeah. I have mixed feelings about it. I have no problem. I don't know the drummer who they got to.
Yeah, I was going to be playing. Is it really Rush with?
But here, my thing is, and I'm not saying this to be critical because I love Rush. Rush is in my top 10. They're just outside the Magnificent Seven. Like Rush and ZZ Top are just outside of it. And it's only because of the point they came into my life and what the music means to me is not as deep as those seven. But it's a case where at the time when they did their final tour, the R40 tour in 2015, Alex Lifeson was talking about arthritis in his hands and not being able to play guitar as well. Geddy Lee was talking about, he wasn't talking on days off or days of gigs to preserve his voice. He was communicating with people through text. He'd restricted his diet. He had no dairy or anything like that. And that was 10 years ago. I'm not saying they can't do it now. I'm just saying 10 years ago they were talking about it's not going to be as long of a show. It's not going to be a 3-hour show anymore. But it's still, they were talking about the difficulties of doing it. God damn it, I hit the chair. Again, it had to happen. But 10 years ago, they were talking about that. And it's not to say they can't do it. Sorry. Yeah, the thing just exploded. It's just the headphones that came out. I'm sorry, everybody.
No.
The stupid chairs that I was complaining about pre-show have betrayed me again.
I think I just broke these headphones.
Oops. It was probably me. I know, it's only coming out of one side now. I think it's the monitor. Maybe not.
Oh, okay. It's the unit. Yeah,
Is it? Okay. All right. Well, we're still coming through.
Yeah, we're still coming through.
The mics are still working. Yeah. Anyway, so
I went to go grab it as it was falling, and I just sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's my stupid fault for knocking the chair. It's not the stupid chair's fault. It is. But that's something where I'm like, I can't pay. I'm not going to go pay $200 to go see concerts anymore. I'm just not. I'm over it. And there is some control over that. And P.S. That's why I haven't seen Bruce in the last couple of tours because the tickets were too damn expensive for me. And
he's one of those people I would actually like to see before he decides
same.
To stop.
I only saw him twice in 2003, and it's a whole new catalog. In a lot of ways, it's a new band, and I would love to see it. It's an incarnation, but this, the 2023 tour, I was priced out. Sorry, I'm not going to pay $300 for a ticket to see anybody.
Did you see Delivery from Nowhere?
That's another follow-up thing. So no, I have not seen Delivery from Nowhere because it wasn't playing all that long. It didn't flop, but it's a movie that doesn't feature. It's not a franchise, so it didn't make huge money.
It cost $40 million. I think it made 44.
Yeah, something like that. But that's a biopic. Biopics aren't like hits. No. Bohemian Rhapsody you can point to, but that's also because that was a rarity. But So to piggyback on that, speaking of you and I doing the show in the beginning of the year, so if you listen to or watch Cape 242, Delivery from Nowhere was the movie that I was almost in, that got up to me and somebody else, and the director chose the other guy. I told you that at the time. Remember, you had me edit it out.
Oh, yeah! Okay, yes.
So I'm curious. I was curious to see. I wanted to go see it, of course, even though I read the book and I know the actual story and obviously Bruce's autobiography. So I know enough about it that the movie was, less of a priority because the narrative version. I was just going to. It wasn't going to be. Right? It was going to have dialogue. It was going to be a featured extra. Someone who was. It was some road crew that was going to be prominently featured, which is why they were very specific about the look.
Oh my God!
I don't know who I was featured. They could have picked a tall, bald guy with tattoos. I don't know. It's whatever the director said, like that guy. So it wasn't personal. There wasn't an audition. It was just photos.
Yeah.
And dimensions, in as much as my height, my weight, my clothing sizes. Like I did all of that, and found out at the end of the day. So that was the movie I was potentially going to be in that I didn't want to talk about at the time because it wasn't out yet.
You don't want to announce something that's not ready yet.
Well, I didn't get it, but I still didn't want to say I was almost in the Bruce Springsteen movie. But that's why it would have been so meaningful to me to have been in his movie specifically, aside from the fact it was the next town over, for Christ's sake. Yeah. Anyway, it's so I'm sorry to say the Oasis experience was a net negative. I will totally go see them again because they sounded amazing. The set list was awesome. Can't wait. I hope they do another album. I mean, they literally just wrapped up their tour. So they said, take a pause for some reflection. And I get that. I can't imagine they're not going to do it. They genuinely seem like they're having a great time doing it. So I hope they do more shows. But, I'll go see them at the Garden if they play the Garden. I'm not going to go see another show this big. And they probably would rather do more shows too, but this was supposed to be, this was kind of like a victory lap.
A victory lap, probably trial run.
I mean, I think they see now that the demand is there and that they will sell out 50,000 in a day.
We've only seen it from the outside based on like comments and stuff, but like nobody will truly know how volatile that relationship was except those two. So I bet.
Dude, that's every band.
No,
that's with slight exceptions, but that's the rule.
Yeah, but like at the same time,
because lineups change all the time. You can't name.
Yes, but those two have been notoriously volatile.
Yes, of course they have, but they're in their 50s now. It's a different. It's a different thing.
So I wouldn't be surprised if this run of shows was more of a trial run. Hence, why it was so few.
I think the supposed $40 million they each made for the shows is reason enough to tour again. I mean, money talks.
It beats.
You don't need to travel together in the same Prius. Okay,
you could have catalog.
Yeah, you could have separate buses. So anyway, all right. Well, we've done enough. We did almost 2 hours. That was pretty solid, I think.
You wanted to talk about Ozzy just a little bit?
No, because it's going to take too long.
No,
I can, but it's late and I'm tired and I don't know.
You want to end the show? Okay.
What do you want me to talk about? What I was going to talk about?
I'm curious.
Well, you're curious because you don't know. We hadn't talked about this. Same, we hadn't talked about the Oasis thing because it hadn't really come up. Okay, so
Oasis isn't going to come up. Ozzy maybe. I mean, because my experience with like Ozzy and his passing and that final show is that I was very, very far removed. Meaning, like I didn't. Of course, I grew up listening to this man's music. Of course, it was played in my house. It was all these things. And it's a band, and him I respect as an artist, but like I don't go out of my way all the time to listen to this stuff. But there is a level of respect on the artist level for what he was doing.
Of course.
And
those last two albums are pretty goddamn amazing. So
for him to forego medication, like, because knowing now, like what he went through to put on that final show.
Did you watch the documentary?
I haven't, but I know those
things. It's a tough watch because
that's the thing. It's like,
and that was the hard part about watching.
Listen, son of somebody who would do this stuff.
Yes,
I don't know if I can watch it and not weep.
Well, that's why I'm telling you, you're watching Ozzy in decline because it starts in 2019. So it tracks the last years of his life and his decline. Physically, medically, everything that goes on.
I've cried enough in 2025.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a tough watch. Yeah. Like I've talked about my parents in relation to Ozzy Osbourne here and there on the show, but I told them not to watch it because they're of a certain age. I mean, they're older than Ozzy.
I made the mistake of listening to that amazing version of Mama, I'm Coming Home, and it just.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's too much. But I
I respect it.
Of course.
That's what I mean, is like, at the end of the day, like, what he did was like, holy crap, you knew.
Well, he was also America's dad for you growing up via Birmingham, England. But I mean, you had a different experience with him, period. He was a different person to you than he was to me. I mean, I'm a child of the 80s. So Ozzy Osbourne was a whole different person than the person I saw, or the person you saw, rather, the person you grew up seeing. I have 3 Ozzy experiences, and none of them are positive, which is the main reason I didn't want to not necessarily do with him. But, and this is partly why I didn't want to do a special, because I was like, oh, he died and everyone's sad, including me. And I don't want to put negative stories out there. But I started piecing it together when it happens, like, well, I have to do an Ozzy special. And, I do have a friend who went to the Back to the Beginning show. So it was that final show.
That's weird. Then I'm sorry. I didn't realize that it was a negative thing.
No, it's all right. But that's why I didn't want to talk about it at the time.
No, the time, but like,
no, but
now.
Period. Oh, dude, I'm not trying to bring you down. I told one of the stories.
Hey, look, you're not bringing me down. I didn't want to bring you down.
No, not at all, dude. They happened to me already. They're not recent. They're a long time ago. But
you get it.
I could tell you. No, I understand where you're coming from. But that's also why I didn't want to put one story.
Because I love you, buddy.
Oh,
I don't want to blow you, but I love you.
Okay, that's a trailer clip. So I told one of the stories back in 2021, so I will get to the 3. Well, actually, that's the first one, because chronologically, it's the first one that happened. I talked about it on I forget the Cape episode, but it was when it was my tribute to vintage vinyl, the record store in Fords, New Jersey, that has been open for decades. That was a huge part of my life. I would always go there when I was living in California. I'd come back to Jersey. Every single trip I took home, I would go to Vintage Vinyl, and I would always buy something. It became a tradition of mine to buy a Christmas music album every holiday season as well. A lot of history there. So back in 2001, when Ozzy's Down to Earth album came out, he was doing an in-store appearance at Vintage Vinyl. You had to pre-order the CD to get a wristband, which would guarantee, well, you got a receipt, which then would give you, which guaranteed you were going to get a wristband to do the meet and greet. And they were just taking Polaroids. They had a little throne made up for him in the back of the store and all that. And bands did meet and greets there for, like, everybody came through Vintage Vinyl who played New Jersey. No, they closed in July 2021. So I did an episode talk about Stores Smiths where I met Cheap Trick as well in 2004.
So Ozzy announces he's going there. You get the wristband.
Well, so I pre-order the album and get the wristband. I do too, because my friend Dan was going to go with me. Mm-hmm. So we go there. I don't remember if it came out in October or late September, but it was, colder at night. Now, I'd already bought tickets to see Ozzy December 23rd, 2001 at Continental Airlines Arena, the other Meadowlands venue that no longer exists.
Shit.
So,
man.
But I was like, I'm going to get to meet Ozzy. I'm going to get a photo with him. I'm going to get a Polaroid of me with Ozzy Osbourne. This is going to be great. So we get there. It's fucking mobbed. And the line is out of control. There's very little order when it comes to the line. And look, there's a crowd there. It's, people are somewhat rowdy. But a van pulls up. The song blasts. Ozzy gets out. He's flashing the peace signs, And
how the hell do you not?
It was great to see that, but then it was just a clusterfuck of people trying to get inside. And I said,
how do they not have a fucking line system?
They never dealt with something like this big. Dude, the local police was there.
But you said Cheap Trick had been there.
That was later, but Cheap Trick isn't Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, the crowd isn't going to show up in the same way.
They're going to do arena shows.
There was a big crowd inside, but it wasn't as massive of an event as Ozzy making an appearance. Yeah. This is pre-Osbourne's Ozzy, so this is just metal fans showing up. Rock and metal fans.
Okay.
So, anyway, we see what a clusterfuck it is, and we're like, oh, man, let's go. So we go up the street to Woodbridge Mall, go to Applebee's and eat, and we kind of pulled the wristbands off of it. We kind of slid them off of our wrists and just put them in our pocket. And then after eating at Applebee's, I said, you know what? I was like, maybe the line's thinned out. We have the wristbands. Let's go back, and maybe we can hop in the back of the line. No, it did. We park, we start walking up, we get stopped by 2 cops. And he says, you guys can't go in unless you have a wristband. I was like, I have a wristband. And I hold up my wristband for the cop. He goes, now, what were they doing with the wristbands? They went in. When you got inside the store, they would cut the wristband off. And it would go in the trash.
Shit.
So, but no, I have my wristband. So the cop said, this has been used. He takes it, he puts it in his pocket. And then I was just like, what? And that's it. And then he just turns away from me. And being 19 and just like, what the fuck do I do now? I was like, fuck it. And then we just went home. So that motherfucker probably went in and got his photo with Ozzy with my wristband, because the wristband wasn't used because they were cutting the wristband, because they said that's what they were doing. When we get inside, we're cutting your wristband off and you get a photo.
I'm so sorry.
I didn't get to meet him.
Me. That's just, I'm so sorry.
Fast forward to December 23rd, 2001. Me and a buddy of mine, Mike, who we worked together, we go to the show, Continental Airlines Arena. Ozzy was struggling with substances at the time, as we now found out. His performance wasn't great. What made it worse? We're in the back. We're facing the stage, so we're watching the stage. But we're in the upper tiers. The two people in front of us are smoking weed the entire show, and it was some low-grade fucking skunk weed that we were not enjoying. And the next day, I was working retail at the time, so we were supposed to work 7 to 6. The store opened at 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. As a full-timer, I had to work the entire day. I woke up. I went to bed not feeling well. I woke up fucking green. And I had to call work and say, I need some extra sleep. I feel awful. My buddy who went with me had to work a short shift in the morning. He didn't work in the sales floor, though. He worked in the back room. So he'd go and work a couple hours, but he felt like shit all day because of the inhaling this secondhand skunk weed. And I ended up going in at noon. I slept a couple extra hours, but I felt like shit all day long. And we crossed paths a little bit. He was just like, no, he's like, man, I just came in. I think he was working like 7 to 1 or something. So he'd work a couple hours. He's like, I decided to come in and tough it out and just get it over with. But he's like, I feel awful. I was like, dude, I still feel awful. But I mean, they couldn't let me call out because that would have been a serious infraction to miss out on, what was supposed to be an 11-hour shift, but also Christmas Eve, where it's like almost mandatory that everybody had to work. So that was a sucky experience. Fast forward, Ozfest 2005, the original Black Sabbath is headlining. But the bigger thing for me was Iron Maiden was playing that Ozfest. They were doing all earlier stuff. So it was the first 5 albums, I believe. Mm-hmm. They were doing all stuff from the early days. And it was a contentious tour, which you probably have heard about, that culminated in a show out in California where eggs were thrown at Iron Maiden while they were performing. A show Sherry was at. You got to look that up. If you don't know about it, look it up. You will find articles from that time.
I don't know.
Well, somebody's wife supposedly supplied the eggs to people to throw at the band, because you can't sneak cartons of eggs into a concert, can you?
A band member's wife? No, I don't know the story.
Okay, well, I'm sure you can put together. I'm sure you can put together somebody's wife, somebody's notoriously tough wife. Anyway, the day of the show. Now I went to Ozfest. There was not a lot of people. I mean, Velvet Revolver was on that year, but I was kind of lukewarm on their debut album, so I didn't care. I showed up a little bit before. It was while Mudvayne was on, and they were the band that was playing before Maiden on the main stage. And they didn't really do anything for me. I didn't go to see them. I was literally going to Ozfest to see Maiden. Like, they were the big draw for me. Yeah. And then to see Black Sabbath. Well, on the day it's announced, Ozzy's not feeling well, so Black Sabbath is canceling tonight. And I'm like, okay. I said, well, maybe Maiden's going to play a longer set. Nope. Maiden played for an hour. I was home at 9:30. My one Ozfest experience was a big fucking disappointment. Damn. So, unfortunately, those are my 3 Ozzy Osbourne stories. They don't affect my feelings for him and my love of the music. I was a latecomer to Ozzy Osbourne. I was in high school at that point. I knew Crazy Train like everybody did. I only found out he was in Black Sabbath from VH1 Legends. Or no, I'm sorry, Behind the Music. Because who knew? I knew who Black Sabbath was, but I know Ozzy Osbourne was the singer of Black Sabbath. I knew Ozzy Osbourne was a solo artist. The same way, because of this is where I got confused. It was Ozzy Osbourne Behind the Music. But it was VH1 Legend where I learned Eric Clapton was in Cream. I didn't know I knew who Cream was, but I didn't know that dude with the mustache and long hair was Eric Clapton when he was young. Because of that stuff, I learned about, these artists and their history and stuff like that. So yeah, I didn't know Ozzy was in Black Sabbath, so I didn't even know about that because you couldn't find this shit out.
There was no Wikipedia.
I mean, you had to read you had to read books or magazines or whatever to find out about that. But it wasn't on my radar because Ozzy wasn't in Black Sabbath for my entire lifetime. Apart from the Live Aid appearance. But I was too young where I would have paid attention to that. So that's so funny. I got into Ozzy heavy. I knew Crazy Train. I don't know that I knew necessarily other singles, but I remember my dad driving me home. I forget where we were, and I put on 95.9 The Rat, New Jersey's main rock station, if I'm being honest. That started around that time. I think I was a sophomore in high school when that station launched. But anyway, I heard the song No More Tears on the way home. I was like, that song's great. And I knew it was Ozzy's voice, certainly. And I had Columbia House at the time, so I ordered the No More Tears album, fell in love with it. It's still one of my top 10 all-time favorite albums. And been an Ozzy fan since that was probably freshman year, sophomore year. I don't remember exactly.
It is so weird when I think about like.
But the negative experiences don't affect my feelings for Ozzy.
Nor should they?
No, not at all. And but that's why I didn't want to talk about those in a tribute to Ozzy if I did an Ozzy Osbourne special, which everybody was doing. So the other thing was it would be kind of bandwagon-y for me to be like, we're doing Cape presents the Ozzy Osbourne tribute special. Because in my head I was assembling a panel of people I was going to talk to. It wasn't just going to be me talking about it, or I wasn't going to call on you. Exactly. It's going to be other music fans who are going to be, like rock fans. So there we go.
I did my Spotify Wrapped, and I was a little insulted with the age it gave me. It was kind of hilarious, though. It said I was 47.
Well, because you listen to a lot of Ray Charles. I'm surprised it didn't say you're dead. But I don't understand. See, the thing that gets me about Spotify is everybody.
Don't support him. I'm ending my
listen, I'm just saying. I don't know. Listen, I have YouTube Premium, which includes YouTube Music. So my streaming service comes bundled with ad-free YouTube. You can't go wrong with that. But like Spotify is notorious for having the worst sound quality of all the streaming services. Why the fuck does everybody subscribe?
It's easy.
Dude, they're all easy. Why would you not pay $10 for YouTube Premium and get YouTube Music for free? Don't you want ad for YouTube? I do. When I found out it included music, I canceled Spotify because I was like, oh, this is the same thing. But it sounds better. It sounds better in headphones. Sounds better in my car. I don't understand why Spotify is still such a big thing. It's still monthly billing like every other service. I don't know why people choose that one.
I haven't noticed a sonic difference.
There's a difference.
Wow.
I did, because I'm telling you, between headphones and the car, because my Spotify subscription overlapped with me trying out YouTube Music. And while at first I didn't like YouTube Music's interface as much as I like Spotify's interface, I adapted, but there was a definite difference in sound quality. It's definitely tinnier on Spotify. The sound quality isn't nearly as good. YouTube Music,
I gotta listen for
which I've had for the last 3+ years since I've had YouTube Premium, vastly better. But everybody's always talking about how bad the Spotify sound quality is, but everybody's posting their Wrapped. Figure that out. Why the hell are you all giving them $10 a month if the sound quality sucks?
Because I don't think most people have the ear for it. And I feel bad.
I guess, but
I can't.
Maybe it's just a meme at this point, but you see so much about it that I'm just surprised.
But, it's been a year, buddy.
Yeah, it has. And we got one more episode to go. You're not in it. You'll be engineering it, though.
I'll be engineering.
It'll be a fun group episode.
They make the mistake of giving me a microphone, so I'll probably chime in at some point.
You begrudgingly did it, but now you enjoy it.
I think I will just be.
You'll be working it, but it's been great. You've been in, I think, 7 out of 10 episodes. Yeah, which is great because that's the kind of presence you should have on this show.
Was the Father's Day one this year or last year? The one where the last time I engineered.
Both. We recorded it in March, and then it went out in June for Father's Day.
Okay.
But it was just supposed to be another 2025 episode, but I repurposed it and made it the Father's Day episode because I was like, well, at that point, I knew the show was coming back till October, but I was like, well, this will work for June. There you go. This will tide you people over until I come back. Well, that's it.
That's it.
We gave you a nice long show. Late, but there you go. You still got yourself a nice lengthy episode with the two of us. Yeah. Lengthy and girthy because we covered a lot.
Two of us. We can podcast if we try, just the two.
We're still trying. That's the whole thing.
But you know what? I can't think of a better person to try it with, man.
Well, thanks. Suck it, other podcasters.
No,
particularly the shared universe ones.
Hey, listen. I would say that, through my years of knowing, there's a handful of people who I've worked with and engineered who have become dear friends. And it's literally a handful of people, and you are absolutely not one of them. So I'm just fucking with you. You are absolutely. Come on, man. Only because you broke my rap gift.
I am the entertainer, and I'm so fucking tired. Christian's being a smartass, and so now he's fired.
Hey, what? Hey, this is what happens when I hang around you. I learned.
I'm a bad influence, I will say. My apologies to Mrs. Cortez. To Ma Cortez.
Stay tuned for Cookapa.
Stay tuned for Cookapa.
I love you, buddy.
I love you too. Thanks for doing this, and thanks for doing Cape 250 in advance. Thanks in advance for that. Yeah. So. Next Monday, December 22nd, the 2025 finale. Yeah. You can enjoy that. It's going to be Another all-star episode. It's going to be a bigger cast. Some people making their only appearances in 2025 because, as we said,
this is how this works.
That's how it's gone.
This is how this cookie has crumbled this year.
Yeah, still some, but still plans in place for 2026. So more on that and some stuff related to the God Forbid documentary. So link down below. Watch God Forbid: 20 Years of Treason.
Go check it out.
Directed, edited, and co-produced by yours truly. And I can't believe I just said yours truly. Ugh, I never say that.
It's by gross. His truly.
Yeah, that sounds better.
No.
By me.
But it's even weird. I don't know why I don't like it either. By filmmaker Chris Aballo. Go watch his documentary on God Forbid. Link in the description.
That's it.
Go check it out.
And our short film, The Out. You can watch that too. And follow us. Links down below. And
all the places.
The show shall return next Monday for the 2025 finale. So until next time, for Christian Cortez, this is Chris Aballo, and this was yet another experiment.
Boom.